As of recording of this video, Diablo 4 has released Diablo patch 1.1 right before Malignant update. I believe when you are watching this video, Malignant update is already up and rolling, and it doesn't matter. The thing I want to tell you how I perceive the game and how basically the game turned out to be. By no means, by no surprise, I'm gonna show you the Sorceress. Alright, so this is the Sorceress. I played Sorceress and I have had luxury of exploring the whole map, listening to all songs that you know on this channel, and I have had a blast leveling from level 1 to level 50, so it was fine. I was having fun in the game. The problem exists where I tried getting a little bit further from level 50 and trying to explore the end game content of the game, and at that point I was having struggle with. I looked up the internet. Previously I was focused on lightning build. Later on I discovered that in order for me so I could be strong enough, I need to go for a lance build, so that I would have a flying lances so I would kill enemies. But after reaching level around 54, 55, as you can see now, I just thought that this is no fun and I have to switch it up. Later on I moved to Druid and I didn't really look back. The reason why I'm speaking this is that after those patch notes, I honestly thought that these are balanced notes. Those notes will balance the game out in a way that you will have ability to experience the game in the new eyes. Maybe it's gonna be like Diablo 2 like experience or Diablo 1 like experience that would give you joy and kind of a hard times when you're trying to progress through the levels. And this was my idea and why I initially thought that this is going to be like a game-changing patch notes that's gonna help you in your journey, as most of the players are having difficulties facing or seeing any sort of challenges besides changing the world tier. And I got blown away. This is not wrong. This is not right. I tried multiple builds. Yesterday I think I spent like 1 or 2 million gold just simply trying to switch up and see what kind of builds I can create with Sorceress, as now I know Sorceress is really weakest class based on my own experience with it and based on the internet perspective of Sorceress. Sorceress is being nerfed to the ground. It honestly doesn't matter what kind of legendaries I would apply, it doesn't matter what kind of weapon I would use. Sorceress, it just feels weak. It's a boring class to play. It has one of the most beautiful animations that you can expect from ARPG game, but it's boring. Now I even have the meteor build with the firewall that maybe the bleed. I thought that maybe the bleed gonna help me out with the damage. It's not. I can do anything in this game. I can switch it up. I can use ultimates. It's just horrible. I can have the maximum items equipped on this character, and at the end, at the best, I'm gonna be lowest tier of any sort of class in this game. I saw multiple videos in regards to Oculus teleporter stuff being thrown around and teleporting you to the corners where you are being teleported underground or just stuck somewhere else. The class itself feels weak. I'm not sure what's the purpose of Blizzard actually adding this class to the game, as overall it's unentertaining, it's very boring, and they just seems like they don't really know what they're doing. Direct competitor that I'm looking at is Path of Exile. Path of Exile, basically they have so many classes and they give you absolute freedom for you to destroy your class on your own or make it overpower on your own. Yes, there's so many builds and there's so many guides out there that most of the people are following meta on the games, and as we know, Diablo fans are doing the very same thing. If they don't have so much time, they're just, instead of inventing the build on their own, they're looking up guides. But at this point, after seeing those patch notes, I honestly there's no reason to basically build up guides, as Diablo 4 seems like they're falling into very right footsteps as Diablo 3 did. there's no so much of innovation. As you can see, the very same results as there was in Diablo 3. There's like two builds that's gonna shape the class for the season, and that's it. I thought that the worst thing that could happen in season 1 was the actual season and lack of content, because I was under belief that Blizzard is making a foundation so that they could make core gameplay beautiful, and they're not focusing on enhancing the actual playstyle of the classes, rather than they're just trying to balance things out. And now it really seems like they're not respecting players' time. Really, it really boils down to that. Blizzard doesn't care if you reach levels faster, it doesn't really care if you are strong enough to go to higher dungeons. Level cap started existing on new armors that you're going to pick up. Now sacred items gonna have a level cap starting from level 60. Ancestral items gonna have level cap of level 80. Vulnerable damage got reduced, critical damage got reduced. Overall, just so many limitations that just raises a huge question in head. What's the point of Diablo 4 if it's no longer action based? Because if it's story driven game, I totally get it. There's no need for us to focus so much going above level 50 and just say, hey, this is for those who love the game, or just, I have no idea. I personally bought the game as I have bought Diablo 3 and Diablo 2 for the very same reason that I love the game, I love the demons, and I like to kill them fast enough. Diablo 3, as we know, could not stand the chance closely with Path of Exile, because Path of Exile just like a bulldozer rolled over the game and just showed how many of the complexities and depth simple game could have. And I was under understanding that Diablo 4 will have similar things, as this skill tree was firstly shown as this is going to be a huge game changer. And if you are not convinced by the huge skill tree that goes into very deep complexities, you have the Paragon boards. One of the limitations that Blizzard has created is having you ability to choose those, like options. Either you have mana cost reduction or you have your heals added. Add both. Remove the limitations. Allow players to freely explore the game, destroy the character, or make it super powerful. It's nothing more fun in the game than to stomp through content, kill everything quickly, and just find your own path, what you want to do in the game. Now what Blizzard is doing, they're limiting any sort of experience, and instead of giving players what they came to the game to have fun, they're giving player limitations and just slowing down the players. Blizzard have made all of the characters weaker. Blizzard have made all of the damage feel also weaker. You feel squishier. I'm not really sure at the end of the day what's the actual purpose besides completing the story and just closing down the game. After returning back from a vacation, I was really thrilled to jump back into the game, and first 2 days was fun. After that, I really started questioning myself, what's the purpose of the actual game? And at some point I said, okay, I'm no longer gonna level past 63, I'm now 64, as I'm gonna wait for the season, and I'm expecting huge changes during the season or pre-season update. And I was honestly expecting huge bug fixes, but I was not expecting damage downgrades and armor downgrades. What the hell was that? I honestly am shocked and sad, actually. I have bought this game for such a huge price, and I understand that this game is on continuous development. It just, I don't know, I don't believe in this game. It's sad to say. I know that most of you that came across this channel and have subscribed to this channel really believe that I'm gonna upload a positive only content here, but it's impossible. If I'm only uploading positive content, I'm gonna be lying to you. As at this point, check it out. I'm in World Tier 4, Oh, well, yeah, World Tier 4. And if you go to the previous video that I have uploaded before the patch, how I played this game, how the gameplay looks, I just kill monsters in a couple of hits and I don't worry about anything. Because I understand that my concern is going to be at the maximum levels when I will need to focus on end gear or just perfection so I could kill the Uber Lilith. But now it's just, I feel weak. I don't really understand why I am in bear form, because bear form doesn't feel like it's a bear or anything like that. I feel squishy. Why bear form feels squishy? And everything feels squishy. I saw some comments saying that Diablo 4 is something like Diablo 2 now, and it's really finally going to the right path. They're making the game harder. It's not that. Diablo 2 and Diablo 1 had freedom and allow you to make decisions on your own. And there was a fixed things that did not change your class in the middle of the game. Now the people who have stayed with the class, now the people who have decided that they will not enroll the season character are basically screwed. There's no reason for them to just stay the same class. I personally, I can tell you, after me experiencing how the Druid feels, I don't honestly want to play Druid again. I saw how cool Druid can be just simply by killing monsters and just stomping through content, even though my main complaint of the class was it is slow. That's it. I'm slow, and I have 2 gap closing abilities. That is either evade or just trample. That's it. That's my only complaints about the class. Rest of the class, I'm totally fine. I'm actually amazed how beautiful it looks. But now it doesn't match the vibe, doesn't match the game. I'm again saying that level scaling is horrible. And what Blizzard did now is, instead of addressing the core problem, they're locking us into somewhat of a cage once again. Now, instead of, as now, currently before season 1, there is level scaling in each and every zone that you access, and monsters are around the same level as you are. Now, based on the world tier, you're gonna have a different level scaling metrics where monsters gonna be lower level than you. So now, instead of you going into world and having the same level experience points as you are, you're gonna get even lower experience. And in order for you to have sufficient experience so you could level up faster, you need to grind dungeons so you could have sigil points. It's insane. They're basically just prolonging the fun. And why are you having people locked in the cages, and why you're making people suffer through the game and claim that it's fun at the end game? It's not going to be fun at the end game if people not gonna get there. Why you need to have such a slow XP gain? And my main complaints is why there is different stats on the unique items. I don't get it. I like Diablo 2, I like Diablo... Yeah, at this point Diablo 3 doesn't really match it, but Diablo 2, I remember if you have a unique item, this unique item have a fixed stats, fixed level requirement, and you have a couple of wearables that change. What's the problem with that? Now what happens is, even though you have accumulated and got the gear, as you can see here I have level 62 helmet, if I'm gonna get to level 100, this helmet gonna be worthless, despite its rare drop, despite that it's a thing that I cannot upgrade anymore, or I can align it with my level. It's just worthless. It's at this point it's just accessory that I could use, but I'm not even using it. It doesn't match my my style. At this point, I'm not too sure how am I supposed to return to Druid. I know that I will not play Druid when season launches, just because it was so fun playing before the patch. I don't even want to compare the fun after the patch goes live. What I have decided prior is to play either Necromancer or Barbarian after the season 1 announces. What happens is, I read about the Barbarian being nerfed to the ground. I saw how ridiculously weak Barbarian is, and everything surrounding Barbarian is that he just uses multiple shouts and doesn't do enough damage. Occasionally he just dies from the monsters and that's it. Nothing magically happens. So instead of Barbarian like Barber being the killer class, it's just class that doesn't do enough of damage and just yells all the time. I don't get it. Where's the catch? Where's the fun? Where's the Barbarian-ish thing? Because from the games I remember, Barber is the one that has the highest defenses, highest offense stats, and your problem is only mobility. Besides that, you're just destroying us, stomping, and just going through the content easily. It was since the early games of anywhere, Barbarian is strongest class always, and it's like a newbie friendly class for everyone to play or start playing. Now we have a Sorceress as well, the same class that's supposed to be newbie friendly or as complex as you want to be, and now it's a hardest class to play. It really feels like Diablo 4 is just spitting on all of the classes that was delivered and created before, and now just praising the classes that was rediscovered or re-added from latest patches. So we have two classes that Diablo 4 seems to love and adore. So it's a Necromancer, I'm totally okay with it, and Sorcerer and Rogue. So they're not touching Rogue, they're not doing anything too crazy about it. And instead of matching the abilities and strength that Rogue have, they're just nerfing other classes and limiting their abilities and flexibilities, so that instead of having each and every class feel unique and feel so you could reflect your playstyles and different mechanics of your own, you feel like there's classes that's gonna be super powerful, such as Rogue, and there's classes that will never be as powerful as Rogue, because the class mechanics, the damage, the paragon points, everything feels weak about it. I'm speaking about Sorceress in comparison to Rogue. Even through developer live streams, they said that each and every class should feel unique when you're playing it, and it does feel unique, because some classes you can play and you can play through the campaign, and moving forward you can progress through the game so you could reach max level, and in other classes you can't do that. I remember when I reached level 60, I thought to myself, okay, so I'm level 60, what's the goal even with the Druid when I can stomp through the content? So where's the catch? Where's the incentive for me playing further? I understand that there's gonna be seasons added, but seasons going to add just additional stuff for you so that you could add on your character, so you could apply like sockets, but it will not basically give you like end game content, like a huge area that you can explore, you can dive into more, I don't know, secret dungeons or whatever. There's nothing like that, and it's, I don't know, it's disappointing. I personally, when I'm spending $100 for the game, I expect everything to be polished. Now, from the huge company that already accumulated over 66 millions from the game in first 5 days of sales, this, I'm not too sure if this number even includes pre-orders, because it could not, because there's a lot of people who are not pre-ordering the game. It just feels like I'm being tricked into playing other games. Now, instead of me waiting for this game, having so many videos, having you guys as subscribers and fans following up what kind of things I'm doing, and I'm watching what kind of things you are doing, it just feels kind of strange that Blizzard and Diablo 4, instead of allowing me to play and explore the game, like I can use the same comparison to Diablo 3, Diablo 2 and World of Warcraft, where I'm feeling compelled to play the game as long as I wish, because at each and every difficulty tier, I'm gonna be compelled and challenged enough that I would feel like I'm being rewarded, and if I want to feel my strength, I could just go to earlier levels and just compare how good I was, or well, how strong I am now and how weak I was before after reaching certain point. Now I can't do that. There's so much limitations. I'm not too sure. From ground up, I believe that Blizzard could you simply copy things from Path of Exile. There's so many games that have done it and found so much success. But now Blizzard is just trying to reinvent the wheel once again, even though they're stating that they're copying the game that is Diablo 1, Diablo 2, and Diablo 3 copy. And I don't believe it. A couple of days back, I even downloaded a different game, and I was thinking to myself, okay, season's going to open for Diablo 4. There's going to be new challenges that I'm gonna play the game, and the new content that I will be making, but I'm not too certain, and I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to stick with Diablo 4 for as long as I hoped for before the game was released. As honestly, I was comparing Diablo 4 with Lost ARK, and huge amounts of content, complexities, and everything else. In my mind, Diablo 4 was Lost ARK just for Western and Central Europe, well, for Central Europe people and the Western type of the world, not for people that are in Asia, that have ability to purchase people who would be playing on their behalf, so they would grind. And I was really having high hopes that Blizzard would have limitations for our enjoyments and our content, so that it would be limitless, but it would not limit us in our ability to have joy. Like in Lost Ark, you have a PvP areas that you can just participate and have leaderboards. You have specific stats that you can assign, and you will have ability to just participate from a fixed level in equal duels based on your stats. Blizzard is not allowing you to do that. There's limitations, as you need to unlock certain zone, and in that zone it's a free-for-all. You can meet level 100, you can meet level 45, or whatever. Maybe based on the world tier there's limitations. It's like such an open world that, based on the Blizzard claims, that it feels so limited and so boxed that it just raises the question, what's the purpose of this game at all? Besides the graphics, besides the music, the logic and the end point of this game is just trying to play you. This is a hard thing, but trying to convince you to play for more than 2 hours or more than 100 hours, so that after playing for such a long time, you would say that, okay, it was worth it, and you no longer have ability to refund the game, so that you would lose this right and Blizzard would keep the money and keep the profits. Man, it so sucks that the game that so many beautiful and talented people have worked on became such a huge grind fest, where I believe it's just going to be gold seller websites that's gonna be playing this game, and other people could just leave this game because there's no incentive for you to play. I was even complaining about the fact that during beta there was a reward. I like the actual Ashava horn that I received, but participating in the beta gave you ability to have wolf pet on your back. Wait. Back trophy, yeah. How? It doesn't match anything. It was shown to be like the most beautiful, the cutest trophy you can get, but it just doesn't do nothing. It doesn't look good. It doesn't match any of the outfits. If I'm carrying this, I look weird. Like in each and every set, it just this cosmetic just passes through the weapon in each and every class. So what's the point of this cosmetic? You could say that it's for cosplay if you are in the city, but no one is in the city. If you go to each and every town in the world, it's going to feel laggy. Like, I don't have up to date the most latest PC, and I even capped the frame rate to 60, because the game just keeps constantly eating more and more video game memory and just starts streaking, despite the fact that I could play like this game on like 160 or 200 FPS. It just like sea waves, unpredictable. The game just is unstable. I don't know. I have pretty decent PC rig. I'm playing other games without any issues. And this game, as it's supposed to be like open world that you can communicate with others, have such an empty chat always that it just raises the question. Is this like in Path of Exile solo self-found game that you can simply just play on your own? And yeah, it's just, I don't know. I met like 2 people that have chatted with me, and those people that have met was my friend that I have met in real life, and second person was during beta when we were speaking how to defeat a world boss. That's it. During the live gameplay, I have not met anyone. I have not received any client invite. There was no chat yells in cities anywhere that people would be gathering, speaking about stuff, trying to communicate how to defeat certain levels. Nothing like that. It seems like the only communication you can have would be going to social media such as Reddit or YouTube and expressing your thoughts in videos or actual comments. This is horrible. I don't really know any sort of game that would limit player interaction in that way and portray the game to be online exclusive experience where the only part of you being online is just contributing to the services, to the servers, where in most cases I'm sure Blizzard is going to create group content exclusive dungeons. And if they continue this path, as currently I heard the saying, nosedive, downhill with patch notes, with updates, group content, even though they have it planned for season 2, 3, 4 or whatever, there's not going to be any sort of people that's going to be participating in this game. Even though there's like millions of people who have bought this game, most of the people have not bought this game because skepticisms. Most of the people have not played this game even yet, and they're waiting for the right moment to play this game, even though they bought this game. And at some point, people could just leave the game and just say, the hell with this company and the hell with this game. And Blizzard keeps on doing those decisions that just raises the bar for any sort of tolerance for just horrible development and the design of the game. They have created marketing where multiple people are speaking about the game, influences, how things could be improved, listening to players' feedback. And if you recall any of the live streams, it just, you have like 60 or 70% of the live streams explaining how things are being made and how things will work and how you need to align your mindset because you are thinking incorrectly. And the rest of the thing is just ping-ponging and answering the questions that community has, where they're still selecting the questions and they're not answering the hard questions, because hard question answering could raise a debate, and this debate will not influence any sort of harsh decision making or changes in the game. There's so many good games out there that are being remembered and known for the fact that they are listening to community and hearing the community. If community is saying that, hey, this part of the game is not fun, it's horrible, let's change it, and developers would go there and communicate. Like, hey, if you don't like this, we're gonna change it. And if it's too horrible, they're gonna communicate that it's gonna take so much time, but we're gonna try making it happen. And if you don't like this, hey, here's some free stuff, here's some forgivables, here's some, I don't know, free gifts for you because you suffer through this content or you're experiencing those bugs. And it's a known thing to have bugs, it's a known thing to have balance issues, but it's not a understandable thing when you have patch notes that are such a huge ones, and you have next to each of the patch notes developer statements where we intended players to feel more compelled about experiencing game and being a little bit slower and not so strong basically in the game. And why you're limiting the fun? If you by accident created characters that could potentially kill monsters faster than you intended, you created something different from out of thin air, out of nowhere, and that's good. That's a great thing. Now, why you are limiting all of the classes within the game that have created the builds existed due to the fact that people are using vulnerable damage, the critical damage, they have such a solid armor, and you are limiting those things just for the fact that you are not intended the game to run this way. Create new monsters, leave this content as it is, make seasonal content exclusive, make content harder for us, make more monster density or faster monsters, like new monsters. Leave the content as it is. Why you need to constantly change and balance things out? If people understood the class, they familiarized themselves with the class, why can't you just create a new season and have like season skill bar? What's the problem? You have skill tree that you use your skills for the standard, and you can have a seasonal skill tree. Path of Exile is doing this thing. They have even smaller team, they have a smaller budget, and the game is even free to play, not $100 or 70 or 50, whatever. It's not that. And the game is on continuous development and improvement throughout the years, for 10 years. And I don't know, I don't really have the ending for this. I'm still going to participate in season 1. This is a huge rant. I'm not sure how it's going to go out. I still love Diablo 4. I love the community that I have met, but those things have to change. Yeah. I'm gonna wait for season launch, and that's about it. I think if this continues going down this path, I'm just going to stick with another game and just gonna find something else to play. Even though I don't want to, but at this point I don't really like to feel stupid in the game, and Blizzard is trying to create a feeling for me that I'm feeling stupid by playing this game and by purchasing this game. So I want to avoid those decisions in my life as much as possible, and yeah, be smart. This is a huge rant. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one.